welcome back to another episode. I'm not sure when this episode will get posted because I'm not sure that I will be able to get a ton of work done today. It is like 5 degrees outside, a little lower than that, and the sun is out and shining. That's as warm as it's gonna get basically until the end of the day. So it is going to be very difficult to work out here. I don't know if this heater will be able to keep up. I might have to put a different heater out here, but then again, I don't know what all I'm gonna do today with how cold it is, because you can't really go outside the bus in that case. Everything has to be done inside here next to the heater, and if you're stepping outside, it's got to be real brief, not like some standing outside with the door open working on something. Like, no, it's way too cold for that. I was struggling yesterday when it was 15 degrees, so 3 times as warm, and my hands were freezing. So it's just not very easy to do right now. I can't finish those steps. I could go get the metal, but I can't finish those steps until I have a door to put in. The guy still hasn't hit me back, and I haven't really found any other good deals for a used door, because I don't want to spend $500 on a front door, and I'd like to be able to continue to see out of there. I don't want to block this whole thing up and have no visibility. So for now, I ran to the store. I got some new bolts for the seat bracket to the floor pan. They're extra strength metric bolts, or like class 10.9 or whatever. And I also got another bolt for the seatbelt thing, a new bolt for there that's the right size with a lock nut, high strength again. So I'm gonna get the seat put into place, and then I'm gonna see how that fits up, and we'll go from there. At least it'll be drivable. I'm gonna see if I have a rubber mat or something to put down on the floor, so I'm not potentially rubbing away at that metal until I put something over it. Because that's not going to be the end floor. I'm not just going to paint it black and leave it exposed. I'll cover it up with something. But I also want to see if there's any leaks, because I heard that this problem on the floors happens because the wiper motor has a seal or something in the dash up in the cowl area, and that leaks apparently. But of course, it being wintertime in Vermont, I'm not going to be able to see any rain or leaking like that unless I go to a car wash or something. So if I go to a car wash, I'm going to need probably somebody in here looking around. I want to replace this the ceiling edge there, but I think I'm going to have to go to a junkyard to get a piece, because I don't know that I can fabricate something up like that. But I did notice that is starting to rust out on this side too, that same exact spot. I need to pull this up and make sure there's no other holes down in this area there as well. But yeah, there's a lot to do. I just need to keep it all contained in the bus. But for now, I'm gonna get the seat put on and see how that looks next to it, if it looks doable, and then at least the bus will be in a drivable format at that point, because I have a seat to sit in. Can't really feel my fingertips right now, but the seat is installed. It's sturdy, and that little bit of movement that there is just movement within the seat rails and the seat itself. The bracket and everything is tight, so it's not going anywhere. It's just, natural movement of the seat itself, because it's an old seat. I think I'm gonna put that doghouse back on. I ordered a new latch for it so that it can fully latch all the way, at least. Like I said, those little areas need to get addressed still. But I'm gonna throw the doghouse back on for now, just to seal that up and keep the cold air from coming in and the heat escaping. And just to see it all put back together and to clean up this area a bit. And I'll sort my tools and such. That's the other hard part, is touching these metal tools that have been sitting out here so long. It burns to touch them because they are so cold, and there's actually frost on them. So that makes it's another level of difficulty. But we do have a lot of stuff coming in the mail today, as in insulation and parts, which you guys will see when we get to that step of things, which we are not yet. So it's going to be a secret until then, per se. But seat is in, and it looks good in my opinion. I'm gonna mock up that seatbelt bracket and see how it fits up on there, and yeah. Now that I've put the cowl back on, it's been on for a little bit. It seems to be warming up a bit more in here. It's retaining the heat a little better. So I brought this little temperature thing out that has an indoor-outdoor thing. So I'm gonna leave the main thing in here. I'm gonna mount this outdoor one somewhere outside. I'll probably put it in that little storage cubby down there, just because it won't be rained on or whatever, since I don't have a place to necessarily mount this right now. But I can show you guys that cubby while I'm at it. So this thing is super dusty and crusty. Yeah, there's a bunch of debris in here, but it looks like there was something going on in here at one point, like a battery. Maybe it was like a secondary battery for when they were just sitting around or something. I don't know, but I think I'm gonna mount this. I don't want it to fall down in there, so I just want to keep it out of the crap. I mean, I want to clean this out. It's not very sturdy, as you can see, but I want to clean all this dust out, but I want to take this to a car wash. But I'd like to have somebody with me so that they can see if it's leaking anywhere as I'm spraying it down. I want to spray this area out, but I guess for now, we'll just stick this outside. I'm not gonna put it in there, I'm gonna forget about it. And that is super crusty and dusty. I don't know, I'll find a good place to put this somewhere outside, where I'm not gonna damage it. I think maybe the rear bumper is alright, so I do forget about it. It just falls off the back. Yeah, we'll see. It is getting chilly in here again because I left the door open. I was watching the temperature gauge. So far the outside one has dropped down to 18, and I've noticed it's a little off because I had them both in the same room and it was a couple degrees different, but the indoor one was up to like 50 something degrees, or it was at 50 the last time I looked at it. But then I started doing some welding, so I had to open up the door and the back door so that there's a breeze through here to blow the smoke out. So I dropped down to 41 degrees, so at least what the temperature's reading. So I shut the doors again, but I got this bracket finished, and I'll explain what I did here. Grab the Volkswagen seatbelt. I can't touch it yet because it's still hot, and I still need to clean it up and paint it. But basically, this part is the Volkswagen seatbelt. I cut it up there, and I welded that part to there, and I cut this again because it curved up this way, away from this part, but I wanted it to be like braced up in there. So I cut it again and tilted it because I couldn't bend this. This thing is like freaking hard. So I cut it, tilted it, welded all those all the way around, so that this thing can bolt up right here through that little slot, and it'll slide back and forth with the seat, and the buckle will sit like right here, which is basically where the Volkswagen one sat right here, but it's in the same alignment as the Volkswagen one would be. And this thing sits relatively straight and flat. It's maybe a little tilted in, but I think that'll be all right. So yeah, once that cools down a bit more, I'm gonna clean it up with the wire brush, maybe a wire wheel, grind down some of this spatter, and then I'm gonna paint that black so that it fits in there nice and sleekly and doesn't really stand out. And I'll put the seatbelt on, and everything should be mounted up properly and should work. The bracket is painted, now it's just drying. So yeah, then once that's dry, or dry to the touch, I'll bolt it onto there, install that. I don't know how much longer I should be staying out here and doing this stuff. I don't remember touching anything like burning or pinching this pinky on anything, so that could be the start of frostbite. Since it got, you know, really cold in here and my fingertips, you know, are the first things to go, so may or may not have some frostbite on my pinky, but that's all right. Gotta get her done, right? No matter the freezing weather. So yeah, once that's done, we'll get it on. We'll get that put on. I'll route that wire. I'll probably zip tie it to the rail or use the existing holes to get it positioned up so that it's going to be nice and tidy and looks good. It doesn't get in the way of anything. But yeah, the seat's pretty much done. I did throw this driver's GTI floor mat in there, just so there's something to catch some water and salt and stuff, so it's not, you know, I don't know why there wasn't a floor mat there originally. I don't know if WeatherTech sells a floor mat or something, but I'll likely end up getting some nice floor mats just to catch all the debris in the future. But otherwise, you already know the work that needs to be done there. But at least it's drivable again because there's a seat to sit in. And this needs to get all cleaned up. I'll probably take that welder in because I don't know how I'm gonna proceed with this stuff and if it's gonna require welding or not. I might go to the junkyard, see if I can find a parts van to cut some pieces out of. Otherwise I might do some fiberglass. I don't know. I'm still weighing my options out and considering what I want to do with the rest of the stuff there. Instead of watching paint dry, I'm moving on to other miscellaneous tasks. So I'm going back to this door. I know I don't want to work outside, so I'm trying to do it all from inside. I broke a bit yesterday trying to get through it, so I grabbed one of my good bits and I went through to the exterior because I'm trying to put a deadbolt in. So and I don't want to drill out a giant freaking hole like that in the door. So instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut these off, which I know is, you know, oh, well then somebody could like shim in there and maybe get into the door. Do you see how many windows are in this thing? Like if somebody wants to get into this bus, they're gonna get in ultimately. Like it doesn't matter how many locks I put on whatever the doors. Somebody wants to get in, they're gonna get in, they're gonna break a window, they're gonna, you know, pry the door open, they're gonna smash a lock, cut it off, whatever. So ultimately it's just the illusion of security and a deterrent, you know, because if there is some sort of lock and if they don't have any tools, they're gonna walk away. But if they're determined to get in, they're gonna get in. So I'm gonna grind this down so that it sits flush on the exterior and I don't have to cut a giant hole in the door. And then I'll just pass the bolts and the control thing through to this guy, which will be mounted up there. And this bolt action will hit this guy to keep it from lifting open and allowing the door to open. So as you can see, I ground down that part. Something I failed to realize was how big that was, but I can just make a larger hole on that outside part to accommodate for that. And in that case, somebody really can't, you know, shim attack it because this part's gonna be inside the door. So they can't really get to that. But yeah, I'm gonna slide that in there and see how it fits. Got the deadbolt installed. The door is unlocked right now. As you can see, I can open it up. I will probably silicone around this just so it doesn't leak, but you can lock it. I think that's how you lock it. I've never used this deadbolt. Hold on, bear with me. There we go. Now it's locked. So you can't get it open. Can't move the handle, right? And you unlock it. And you can open it. And I think the funniest part is when it's unlocked, this is in the up and down position so that you can move this, right? But when it's down, and like let's per se this is shut, this is down, you slide that over, the handle hits that and the latch hits that at the same time. So and they're just reinforcing the locked position, so it's not like they're gonna unlock it from this. So it's funny how that mechanism lines up just perfectly. But then you unlock it and the curvature of the handle just fits perfectly. And I just use some L brackets to hold that. This is a little bit like squished in that way, so ideally you'd put like a little spacer or something. I probably have a nut in there that I could slide back there onto this screw just to keep some tension there to keep it all straight. But otherwise it works pretty good. It does exactly what I need it to do, and I can unlock it from the outside and do what I need to do. Got this mounted up and I got the wiring all situated. That bracket was dry enough to mount, so I put the screw in. I did make a little bit of a mistake in not notching out this bracket right here like it's stamped to be. There's a little cutout there to get to this screw, but I was still able to get it in and I got it tight. So yeah, this is mounted on there nicely, and as you can see, it lines up basically right where the other one was. So right in this little area, and it adjusts with the seat back and forth. This wiring, I just tucked the seatbelt one up behind that just to keep it out of the way, but I reused one of the little retainers that was already on the wire, put it into the hole right there. So this is fully adjusted up right now, and you know, there's still some slack in there, so when you adjust it down, there's a little extra, and then it just loops down there. I zip tied it to this center rail up here, so as you slide it back and forth, it's got enough slack and it stays out of the way of everything. So if it ever needs to be serviced, it looks pretty factory and everything is easily accessible. So yeah, that's finished. It's good to go, ready to drive. Hopefully that holds up to the test of time. It does stick out a little bit, so maybe eventually I might want to make a little trim piece just to keep me from catching my foot on it or something. It does have a little bit of rotation in it, but as you can see, it's tight. But it's obviously not gonna go anywhere because it can only rotate so much. But there is a washer in there that allows it to rotate like that, so I can tighten it as much as I want. It's still gonna be able to have that movement, but I think that should be all right. Like I said, that was the hardest deciding factor, but I think it'll be good enough. And I mean, this bus doesn't go very fast, so it's not like, you know, I'm gonna be doing race car speeds or anything. As for the temperature in here, it says it's 24 outside. I don't know how much I believe that, but it does say it's 62 in here, which is kind of believable. It's warming up since the doors have been shut and the heater's just been kicking on full blast. The 1 inch of insulation that's in here is working. And I didn't really discuss that when I was tearing apart this door because I was just kind of tired and done for the day. But there is 1 inch foam board insulation in this door, so I'm guessing that the walls and the ceiling also have the same, which is good. That means if I were to add another inch onto it for what I'm planning to do, it should be just fine. And I already have an inch to work with inside the door, so that works out. These doors are gonna need to get sealed all the way around and probably need some rust work. As you can see, they've been seeping through. But we're gonna dig into that adventure when we peel the walls down and everything like that. I think right now I'm gonna clean up some of my messes, organize the tools again. I've gotten them pretty much compiled. That area is a lot more cleaned up now that I've been able to put it back together. So yeah, let's get some of these tools out of here because they're not needed currently. And we'll get this place cleaned up. The bus was up to like, I think it was like almost 70 degrees. It was like 67 degrees in here or something. So it definitely holds the heat pretty well, just in its current state. So I think once I put a little bit better insulation in and a better heater, I think it'd be doing just fine. Cleaned up a little bit in here. These I'm gonna keep it in the vehicle. I'll just in case I need them somewhere. Some basic stuff. But yeah, I vacuumed up. I took all the big tools in. Oh, I got one more to take in. These are all just miscellaneous parts and pieces from the build so far that I may or may not need to reuse. So I'm just keeping them around for now. Any good hardware, basically. Good reusable hardware I'm putting in there. But yeah, it's cleaned up pretty well. I gotta get these seats either hauled off to junk. I might post them on Facebook, see if anybody wants to buy them. But they're likely just gonna get sold for scrap. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how things are turning out. It's ready to drive again. The doors work better. The floor is over a quarter of the way peeled up. I have a lock on this last door, so now all of my doors are lockable. This one has this lock, which for some reason, like if you lock this door, it won't let you drive, which I guess makes sense. It's an emergency exit, so they want it to be, you know, open and unlocked for an emergency. But yeah, so that little switch may get bypassed eventually or something. Yeah, that locks, that latches in there, and then obviously the driver door locks, so it all is lockable and secure. I mean, obviously you can just break a window and get in, but you can do that for any car in any house. If you're really motivated to steal something, then nothing's gonna stop you, basically. But this gives the illusion of security and makes me feel a little bit more secure leaving my stuff in here unattended. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna upload this video today based off of if there's enough content for a whole video, but yes, I mean I've already posted like 10 minutes video, so I guess this will be enough work to include for today's video. So thanks for watching. I hope it's not too boring for you. There's a lot in store very soon. I just need to get these initial, you know, things out of the way, and then I'll be off to the races. Metaphorically speaking, we're not racing anybody or anything. You know what I mean. Thanks for watching.